What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to another Football Manager 2020 video. And today we're going to be taking a look at the best Wonderkid attackers. Like always with this series, you know the deal by now. The download link for this shortlist is down below. You can click on the cog, click load shortlist, and of course, once you've downloaded it, just load it up in game. Simple as that. Yes, shall we talk about attackers? This is, I feel like, what most people get most excited about. Just as a reminder, in terms of what I'm labelling as attackers, it's any player that can naturally play attacking left mid, attacking right mid, or as a striker. There is a little bit of overlap between this video and last video, because if a player could play naturally left mid or right mid, I included them in the midfielders, and the same with the centre attacking mid position. Anyway, let's talk about this. The most valuable player. It's just the best player in the game in terms of just the best Wonderkid, the best young player that isn't Messi or Ronaldo. Not that either of those are young, but there's just no one who compares to this chap. He's pretty blooming good, isn't he, Mbappe? I mean, I'm all about Mbappe 2020, you know, as a Liverpool fan. I want it to, it's not happening, folks. I'm shutting it down now. I'm sorry, LFC fans. We're not signing him, even with the Nike Cork case. I would love it if we signed him. But yeah, it's not happening. I'm saying it now. He's the quickest player in FM. Has the best acceleration and the best pace. He's literally like, his tip is touching the S. That sounds weird as a sentence, doesn't it? Yeah, he's exceptional. Good luck signing him. I feel like if you sign Mbappe from PSG, you've kind of completed the game. A few of these players we talked about in the last video, so I'm kind of going to glance over them, but Chou Felix obviously is up there as one of the best valued players. He was in the midfielder shortlist. You can watch that video if you want to hear more of my thoughts about him. A few more attackers we've got here. Vinicius Jr., pretty good. I feel like last year in FM, he kind of got neglected by Real Madrid all the time and never really developed. Has terrific potential still. I like him a lot. I really, really do. Another player who I like a lot, who unfortunately not quite as viable to sign this year as in previous years of FM. Moise Kean, of course, England kind of based now, Italian international, playing for Everton. He's still very, very good, isn't he, in FM? A raw finisher, 18 finishing, great composure, great off the ball. Physicals are superb as well. Kind of surprised he's not lit the Premier League up more since he joined. Mason Greenwood is, of course, on this list. I know a lot of people have been talking about this guy on the cusp, of course, of breaking into the England squad. Well, not the England squad, the United squad has appeared this year a few times. I like him a lot in Football Manager. He's very, very good. Would definitely benefit from a loan or two, I feel like, if you are doing a Manchester United career. And then we come on to a few Arsenal players. Now, I talked about some of these previously, but I also glanced over a few. We've got Saka here, who is 17 years old, has kind of burst onto the scene as one of Arsenal's most exciting young prospects. He's very, very good in game. I feel like his pace just underlines his overall ability as a winger. Can play out on the left as a winger. You could even train him to play out on the right as an inside forward as well. He could definitely do a job there. Or if you wanted to get really ambitious as a striker, although if you're doing an Arsenal career, I don't think you need to worry about the striker position because you've got Eddie Nketiah here, who is, of course, on loan at Leeds in real life. He's been doing very, very well, I believe, by all accounts. I've seen him scoring a lot of goals. I can't speak for his actual performances, so Leeds fans, if you're out there, please do let me know. But his potential this year in FM is very, very good. Of course, if you're an Arsenal manager, you're not going to have access to him right away, but he is going to be playing regularly for Leeds. It's only going to aid his development. He's only going to get better. Anyway, let's look past a few of the English players and look at a few from slightly further afield. We've got here Justin Kluivert following in his father's footsteps and looking like an absolutely outstanding footballer. Either-footed, Wonderkid, ambitious. That ambition is going to help him reach his potential. Just a very, very tricky winger. You could play him as a winger, as an inside forward. I guess you'd want his finishing and composure to be a little bit better, but that's definitely where I would look to work on him. Also, that strength could do with a little bit of bulking up, perhaps. Someone gave him the protein shakes. Let's get him, going. But no, he's very, very good. Age 20, just a top player. Anyway, we've got here Brun Larsen, who plays for Dortmund, a young Danish player. Very, very good, kind of versatile player, can play on either wing. We've got here Fernando playing for Sporting. Good player, 20 years old, on loan from Shakhtar, which is interesting. I wasn't aware of that, actually, when I added him to this list, but still, fantastic potential in this year in FM, worth keeping an eye on. Alexander Isaac, of course, let go from Dortmund. I think they have a buyback clause in his contract. I might be wrong. You can see he has a release clause of 24 million. Would it be bold to say that might be worth triggering? I'll let you guys decide, but at 19 years old, he is a very, very good player. Looks like an ideal complete forward by all accounts. Just very, very versatile. Really like the look of him at that price. We've got here Pina Monte, who's on loan from Inter but joining permanently. Very good striker, kind of your traditional advanced forward. Does his attacking stuff well. Has okay passing and vision, but never really going to link up the play superbly. I know Gomez here is going to get a lot of talk, so I should cover him. I don't think we covered him in the midfielders. He's always been a weird player in Football Manager with a scary-looking attribute polygon. You can see it's scary as ever here. Technically, speed-wise, vision-wise, superb. The mentals. The mentals are like... I don't even know what they're like. I'm trying to think of a good analogy. They're like... I can't do it. It's like watching a 3-year-old try and drive a car or something. Like, they're not going to do very well at it. Bit of a car crash when he needs to rely on his mentals, but if he's just going for pure speed, he's going to do well. I don't know what that analogy was. Let's move on from it. Osimhen is a player who's done very, very well this year in real life. Has been performing well. Had a big price tag attached to him as well when Lille signed him. He's lived up to that so far. You could say he's lived up to it. That doesn't work. That pun does it. Let's move on. Anthony plays for Sporting. Looks very, very good. I say Sporting. Is that Sao Paulo? I haven't got the real name fixers installed yet. I think that's Sao Paulo. Terrific player. Can play out on the right or as a striker. Definitely your traditional inside forward. Not really a winger with only 12 crossing. Like the look of him a hell of a lot. Has a minimum release clause that might be a little bit tough to reach, but... if you can get him for cheaper, he's going to be worth it. Looking through this list further, we've got players like Calvin Stengs here, who plays at AZ Alkmaar. Looks like a very, very solid player, the 20-year-old Dutchman. Bodou, another player who looks very, very good playing for Alkmaar. He is only 18 as well, either-footed, fairly ambitious, great player traits. He could be an incredible striker. He was very, very good last year. If we just look on the other side of things, there are some cheap options out here. We'll have a look at this guy, shall we? Munteanu. Yes, a Romanian player. Now, you might need to force load players in Europe in order to be able to sign this guy, but he's someone with pretty good potential this year in FM. Amadou Diallo, playing for West Ham, has great potential. Will he reach it? That remains to be seen. He's got a long way to go to get there. Ndiaye here looks like a good little striker, 18 years old, Malayan player playing for CSKA Moscow. They signed him for an undisclosed fee. Maybe you can get him, I was going to say, for cheaper than the undisclosed fee. That would be an achievement. You can see here we've got Leonardo Campana, who plays for Barcelona in Ecuador. An Ecuadorian international, can I say, 18 years old, not valued very highly. Part American, so that might help him with a work permit, although I kind of doubt it. He looks very, very good, though. Those physicals are absolutely superb. Definitely recommend him. You might be able to pick him up as a quite small team as well, given where he is playing. Cal Jorge here, another good player, was great last year in FM. Not going to turn into the world's best striker, but if you're looking for a safe bet, he's your man. Obviously, Pelayo Marilla was good last year. He's pretty good again this year. Can play out on the attacking left-hand side of things. A number as well of, you can see here, Ajax players. We've got Lucina Traore, who looks very, very solid, of course, already an international. Univar, great little kind of attacking playmaker, would probably play him more down the middle than out wide. Hansen here, like the look of him as a striker, could also be trained to play as a winger at 17 years old. Loads of potential, but maybe going to be difficult to get him away from Ajax. Postema here plays for Groningen. Looks solid, good potential, either-footed. There's lots of players in this list who just, they might look a little underwhelming now, but you've got to consider, 4 or 5 years of development, they're going to look like drastically different players. And I would really stress that with these younger players, because of how young they are, you can really mould them to be the exact player that you want them to be. We've got Singalani here, who looks pretty good, playing for Newell's under 18s right now. Britt Mccauley, I felt like this guy was okay last year. He looks very solid again. Kind of playing out on the left-hand side, I imagine, as an inside forward is what I would probably do with him. Of course, there's a lot of players on this list, and it would be impossible to do them all justice. Although I will talk about Matias Arezzo. He doesn't have the craziest high potential, at least from my own experience, but his current ability is very, very good. He's 16, he's valued at £700,000. I mean, you can see how good he is here. He's not crazy in the air, don't get me wrong, but if you've got quite a tall striker already, you want someone who's going to be able to play off him, this guy represents really good value. Really, really good value. Work permit could be problematic, but yeah, you're going to struggle to get a player for a much better price than that. Jose Juan Macias as well. Very good player, this guy. Mexican forward on loan from Chivas. Definitely signable. I've seen him go to Premier League clubs for less than £10 million. At 19 years old, he's not the youngest and his mentals aren't the craziest, but he's a pretty versatile and good attacking forward. Kind of more than worth being aware of, I feel like. And that kind of goes for a lot of the players here. You know, they're not always going to develop, but they're definitely worth being aware of. And within here, there's a few players who I really, really like the look of a lot. And I can almost certainly see myself signing, this year in FM20. If there's any players that I've covered here that you're particularly excited about, let me know. I will cover one last player today. We'll talk about Karamoke Dembele. If you're a Celtic fan, if you're a Scottish football fan, you're probably aware of this guy. He made his debut for Celtic at the end of last season, aged just 16 and recently turned 16. He put in a really good, competent display. I was quite impressed with what I saw from him for a player of his age. And in FM this year, that is kind of reflected how he broke into the Celtic first team and played a game for them last year. Expect him to frequently appear as one of the better English players, I imagine. But anyway, folks, that is going to wrap up everything from me today. I do hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, do drop a like on it. It is massively, massively appreciated. Of course, subscribe if you're new around here. Check out my Patreon if you enjoy what I do and want to help support the channel further. And other than that, I will see you guys on the next one. It is me, Jack, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.